right now.
Hello, race fans. Steve Pollack here for Saddle Up with Steve and Jay. Boy, oh boy, been a great meet so far for many. The racing I think has been very successful down at Del Mar. We're seeing a little bit of a cheaper brand of horse, but Jay, no such thing of cheap horses. We've got the biggest day, the signature day coming Saturday, Pacific Classic. Great race. We got exactly what we want. We got the Del Mar Handicap, the Green Flash, the Del Mar Mile, the Torrey Pines. Just a phenomenal stakes day. Great day of racing coming up Saturday. We're going to talk about the Jockey Club Gold Cup, which is a race that's going to be run on Sunday. You're coming off of some big days, had a nice pick five on the line on Sunday, and then you gave out one pick today. It was a pick five today, and Jay, you came up with that. So you're off to a fantastic start this week with a Sunday and a Thursday hit. Jay, you got to be feeling great. Welcome to the show. And Jay, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Steve. This is the weekend, the mecca of racing. This is the pinnacle of the two big meets, the Del Mar meet and the Saratoga meet, because we've got that big Pacific Classic card that you just described, and then Sunday it's Saratoga's turn with the Jockey Club Gold Cup with an equally big coterie of stars going in that one. So plenty to talk about. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be a great one. And again, I really want to congratulate you. Very nice. Two pick fives in a row, Jay. And today on the line, I believe what you told me, and you made one play today, and you said, I really like this early pick five, and you managed to, like you said to me before we did the show, hey, if you get a couple price horses in that early pick five, you can get paid $466 on Sunday, but you really backed it up today. A $1,950 hit on today's pick five. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, that one I have not been putting up many Thursdays because my work schedule in terms of doing handicapping and laying out the bets properly. We're focusing on doing this Saturday podcast, so Thursday has been kind of Fridays have been kind of getting short shrift at Del Mar. But what I was telling people about, if you can get your handicapping down to a point where you're not spending so much time doing it, where it becomes an automatic process. You can spend more time in looking for and laying out these bets. And like I said, try to put more time into laying out the bets. And I finally had time in the middle of the week to do that and found the one I was looking for and it paid off. So I'm very happy. I'm hoping people, aren't used to seeing Thursday cards from me at Del Mar. So I'm hoping a few people popped on and said, "Hey, Jay put up a Thursday card. Maybe I should buy that one." So I'm
Yeah,
hoping
I
a few
hope I
people
hope
got
so
in.
too, Jay. That's a heck of a hit. And to do it 2 days in a row is really nice. And I hope that turned the meet around for some people. I've been hearing a lot of grouchiness from people. I do want to address the gentleman who sent me an email and also commented on the show, hoping I would do better. Guys, when you play price horses, you're going to run last and you're going to run second to last. And it's a funny thing. I didn't know that horse had run last Friday night that I gave out. It was a speed play. When you play speed plays that are prices, guys, and your horse runs last, there's no shame in that. You're trying to get clear, and these horses, if they don't get clear, there's a good chance. Probably they're the favorites to run last. And when you're playing horses that are 10 to 1 or more, that's going to happen. And if that's going to hurt you inside, it's going to hurt you from playing. I'm going to continue to play those horses for as long as I'm playing. And there's going to be ones that are going to run last or second to last. So to that gentleman, thank you for the encouragement. I appreciate it. I assure you, sir, that I have been playing for 42 years, almost every day, probably 5 days a week for the last 42 years. Haven't taken many breaks, and I do have some bad runs, and that was not my best pick. But when these horses try to get clear and you're playing price horses and they don't get that lead like you want, and they're just all out to try to still get it, this is a risk that you take. And Jay, it's not an easy game. So when you have success like you did, you got to celebrate it. But it doesn't bother me having a couple horses run, and the fact that horse ran last week, it's no difference. When you play a price horse and they don't run, and that's the way I look at it. And Jay, and again, congratulations on your little run. Any comment on what I just said?
Yeah, Steve, I mean, we all know that if you pick the favorite, the second favorite, and so forth most of the time, you might cash a majority of the bets, and you're probably going to lose money down the road. You will not make enough money if you play an 8 race or a 9 race card and you get the winner on, say, 4 or 5 of those, and the average price is $5. The grind is just going to grind you down on those four that you didn't win. So if you don't go for some prices, you're never going to make any money at this game, Steve. So you're playing it the right way.
Well, I mean, again, and I really appreciate the encouragement and the gentleman's email and uh, and the comment on below where our show is posted. Those are very, very nice comments, and I truly appreciate it. But I always try my best, and sometimes it doesn't work out. I've had some very, very good seasons at Del Mar. This hasn't been my season so far, but I feel very good about getting it turned around, especially on Saturday. I really do. I mean, I've had some incredible success on Pacific Classic Day. I had a day that I made over $300,000 on Pacific Classic Day. So for my life, I'm never going to lose enough money that I'm not going to be way ahead on Pacific Classic Day, because I was able to hit a pick six there about 12 years ago on Pacific Classic Day, and was only one of three tickets on $1 million carryover. So I've done pretty well. Jay, I'm looking to do well on this day, but we're going to start out at Saratoga, and we're going to look at this $1 million Jockey Club Gold Cup. We're not going to go horse by horse. I do want your opinion in here as what really is an important race, because there's 3 or 4 of these, especially Mindframe and Sierra Leone, that are going to end up in the Breeders' Cup Classic coming out of this race.
Yeah, Steve. I think people are probably looking at this race as kind of like a mirror of the Pacific Classic. Because in the Pacific Classic, you've got the three big stars, and we'll be talking about them in more detail. But as we all know, Fierceness has flown out to join our two big local stars, local star Nysos, the best older horse in the colony, and Journalism, our best local 3-year-old. So that's going to be one heck of a throwdown. But I think if people look at the Jockey Club Gold Cup the same way, because you've got three horses with tremendous reputations. Sierra Leone, who, if he wins again, will have to be at the top of the older horses. You've got to do it more than just once. Mindframe, of course, as you mentioned, is going to be right there, and White Barrio, who's just been, legendary over the last few years, former Breeder Cup Classic winner. I would not lean just to those three horses. I don't think it's as cut and dry as the Pacific Classic, where you can probably narrow it down to those three. And if you're looking for a price, you're looking for a price underneath. There are a couple of horses I really like in here that I think have a puncher's chance in here, not only hit the board, but that might actually be able to steal the race. One of them, Steve, is the horse you mentioned, and that's number 2, Highland Falls, who was only a length behind Sierra Leone and was making up some serious ground on that in the Whitney, and goes off at a very fair 5-1 for Brad Cox and Louis Saez. But a couple of horses that are really going to fly under the radar, in my opinion, are the two first and second place finishers in the Grade 2 Suburban. That's number 7, Phileas Fogg, who's 15-1, and number 8, Antiquarian from Todd Pletcher, who's 12-1. Those were some huge figures in there, especially liking Phileas Fogg, the winner at the biggest price. He's 2 for 3 at the distance. He's 2 for 2 at Saratoga, and I just think Phileas Fogg is in the form of his life, and he is poised to make a big impact in here.
Well, he's going to have to clear here early, Jay. He's going to have to get the lead from Contrary Thinking, who I don't like. But Contrary Thinking certainly set the race up for Sierra Leone last time. And I think the key for Phileas Fogg, if you do like this horse, is that he'll be able to sit off of him a little bit like he did in the Pimlico race and go on with it from there. I am not sure that I have as much confidence in him, but he's a big price, and certainly the connections are doing extremely well. Caramouche is a good rider as well, but to me, this race is there's going to be pace, and I don't know that horse is going to be sticking around at the end. But Speed's been very good at Saratoga most of the meet, but we do see, when you got these horses that are sending hard, especially here at 1.25 miles. And with another horse like Antiquarian on the outside, you got all three of those horses right next to each other. Maybe, keep an eye on the scratch board as well. Maybe one of them will scratch. But to me, I see a little bit of a pace battle here. And I'm going to stay out of this race because I think the top horses are going to be tough.
Yeah, Steve, I am gonna before we depart Saratoga, I'm gonna give out a an easy superfecta, and I'm gonna key the favorite number 3 Sierra Leone and number 7 Phileas Fogg. So it's 3-7 with 3-7 with all, and then we're gonna move the 3-7 down the chain, so it'll be 3-7 with 3-7 with all, and then 3-7 with all with 3-7. Those tickets will cost you $8.40 a piece. So I think there's four of them together, so about $30, and you can get a nice competitive shot here with a long shot, and maybe somebody another price like Anna Carrion coming in third. I think it's got a shot. I'll be playing that ticket myself.
Ooh, man. All right. This is why we're both on this show, Jay, because we're opposites attract.
Yeah, no question.
All right, let's go to the Pacific Classic, folks. We've been very excited about this race for quite some time. We are going to go horse by horse. Um, I just want to say a couple things about the 1.25 mile race at this racetrack. You know, we just don't see them very much here, Jay, but it's been very fair. We've seen trackers win. We haven't seen as many deep closers win this race, but we did see a deep closer in Sierra Leone win the Breeders' Cup Classic here, which the other classic races, remember, both times we've had the Breeders' Cup here 3 times, and both times those races were won wire to wire. So I think speed has an edge. I think you got to put your finger on the temperature of this race. Is there going to be a hot pace to see whether you think that someone can close in here? But to me, Jay, the key horses in here do have tactical speed, and that being said, I don't think the inside has been a great post position mile and a mile and a 16th. If that horse shows speed, especially, it's been the number 1 post position. That horse gets behind a little bit, inside not so great, and the outside posts in this race, if they're going to spread out, are generally pretty fair. So I'm not sure that there's a big advantage there. I don't really know what Fierceness is going to do, but here's what I can tell you about Fierceness. This guy, whenever he runs a dull one, he really bounces back. So I'm going to go with the first horse in here, Fierceness. I think this guy is a contender to win the race. I think he could come back here and be the bounce back horse, maybe have the best ability price wise. Couple things I will say: take a look at this guy on the racetrack, and then definitely take a look at what you think is going to happen pace wise. The guy right next to him might be a key, but Fierceness could be an upsetter. He could drift up a little bit in price. I'm going to say that this horse is a contender. Number 1, Fierceness. What about you, Jay?
Steve, I've watched Fierceness's last two races because he's had this on again, off again. This day I'm good, next day I'm bad, next day I'm good again. This pattern for his whole career. But the last two races, he's had a faster horse in front of him. Last time he had two faster horses in front of him that were dueling like crazy. He couldn't get past Raging Torrent. He chased him the whole track around, and Raging Torrent just never let him in. And then last time around, he had two horses on a suicidal pace duel. He was sitting relaxed in third, but he's just not the type that likes to sit off a pace, pounce on it, and then draw off. I think at this stage of his career, at 4 years old, if Fierceness is going to win, he's going to have to win it on the lead. I think JR is going to have to send him today. No more of this, let's see what speed develops and I'll just sit up behind it, because I just don't. Fierceness can do that against these best horses. If Fierceness goes to the lead, I think he's got a big shot. If he sits back second and third again, I think he's looking at second and third again.
All right. What about Midnight Mammoth?
Midnight Mammoth almost ran in the race that I'd given out that played a surprisingly good trifecta for a tiny 6 horse field. That's the one where Tarantino, who is also in this race, did actually very well to hit the board as the longest shot on the field. I thought Midnight Mammoth was the other horse I played on the original ticket. I think Midnight Mammoth was something like 12 to 1 on the morning line, and Tarantino was 15 or 20 to 1. Midnight Mammoth is clearly the better of the two. Craig DeLassy is not having a great meet. He is an expert trainer, and he's much better than that record. I'm surprised. I think he can break out of the slump.
He won today, Jay.
Mhm.
He won a race today.
Craig did great.
Yeah.
Good for Craig. He's a good guy too. And this one certainly has plenty of early pace to sit on the pace. He gets a very good jock for his style in Armando Ayuso, a jock you like. The last race at Santa Anita produced a big 107 speed figure. I think Midnight Mammoth can hit the board at a price.
You know, he's a tough read, Jay. I think a little bit of it is going to have to do on whether you really believe Fierceness is going to send out from the rail. I think that's a pretty good take on Fierceness. I think if Midnight Mammoth has to chase Fierceness around the track, I think he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. But if he doesn't, and he were to be able to get out there and possibly not have anybody hound him from the outside, I would think that that's this horse's best chance, and he can go this far. I mean, this is a horse that really ran huge at 1.5 miles in the Cougar last year, but he was inside and got himself in good position. So I'm not totally throwing Midnight Mammoth out either. I give him a shot as well. Ultimate Gamble, the next horse. The best thing about him is that he's got a shot on sheets. His number, he got to a 6 last time. It's going to take somewhere maybe a point or two faster than that. That was this horse's lifetime top. Personally, I didn't like the last race. I guess because I had Arrow the Great and they DQ'd him, and I thought it was a pretty terrible takedown. But that being said, it was only a 4-horse race, and this guy I didn't think was ever going by Arrow the Great. So I'm not saying he can't if you like him, but I'm going to pass on Ultimate Gamble.
I will be passing as well, Steve, but I will say this. This is the first time going anywhere close to this distance. He's been 1.16 miles one time, and very close second in that race. Never been 1.125 miles. So it is possible that he'll be a different horse at 1.25 miles. That's what you'll be betting on. If you extrapolate his mile races, they're not good enough, but that doesn't mean that he won't be a better horse at 1.25 miles. He won't be a key on my ticket, but if I play an all button, he'll certainly be in the all button, and I'll be rooting for him at 20-1.
All right, Jay, what about Nysos?
Oh, Steve, this is the horse that we've been hoping that would really come to the top of his class. Obviously, early career checkered by injuries after those 3 brilliant races, averaging over 8 lengths in those first 3 races. 2 of them graded stakes, one of them right here, the Bob Hope at Del Mar. Came back in the Churchill Downs after a long layoff finally and ran better than anybody could expect to Mindframe off a long layoff off the shelf. Almost got him. That was a tremendous effort. Came back in the Triple Bend, won by 5.5. Won the San Diego, the prep for this. So he's a perfect 2 for 2 at Del Mar. The question, of course, just like with Ultimate Gamble, but on a grander scale, can this horse win going 1.25 miles? And he certainly projects like he should get it. Flavian Pratt's in town giving up some juicy mounts in New York tomorrow to ride this one. Bob and Flavian together, they don't get to work together as much because Flavian's mostly back east, but they're 60%, 3 for 5 together. Loving Nysos' chances tomorrow. A top contender, maybe the top contender. We'll find out at the end.
Yeah, there's nothing really to hate about this horse. I'll tell you this, boy. I mean, he has won the last 2 races so easily. This is the kind of tape that I like on horses that are a little bit of a price. Now he's the favorite in the morning line. I think the morning line odds maker's done a pretty decent job in this race, isolating the top 3 and giving them a pretty big edge over the others, which unfortunately I do myself. But Nysos, it's real hard to tell what this guy has, and if somebody comes up with an absolute smashing race, it certainly wouldn't surprise me if it's him. And this is the horse I'm going to keep a very, very close eye on, one way or the other, because we'll certainly know whether he can handle 1.25 miles after this race. I'm going to pick it up with Indispensable. What I like most about this horse is Paco Lopez coming in to ride. John Sadler has done unbelievable with these kind of horses, moving them up. So for those of you who want a little trainer angle and you want to go with one of the best riders in the country, and Jay, if you're going to use that all box, this is a horse that I do think has a chance. On sheets, he did get back to a little bit better than his lifetime top. I don't necessarily see any distance limitation here. I think this horse is a little bit below the top, but I would not be surprised to see Indispensable run well. And I certainly have absolutely nothing but great things to say about that jockey.
Yeah, no question. Paco Lopez is one of the top turf riders back east. He's just maybe a notch below Flavian Prat and Arad Ortiz, but he can ride with pretty much any of the others. He's probably not as good as Jose Ortiz either, but he's in a class, with the top jocks back there, the Luis Saez's and jocks like that. And the benefit here is most of the fans here don't know him well, which means you'll get a price. He's already 15 to 1. And, with Paco aboard and, a lot of people saying, Paco, who's Paco? Yeah, I think this is something that's really going to help. Indispensable's a little light class wise, but that Oklahoma Derby was a classy race. Ran a nice third in there. Does he have a shot at the Superfecta? Maybe.
The one thing to always remember is this is a 4-year-old horse, and these 4-year-old horses, only his third start off a layoff, and they do improve. And just to give you an idea, he ran a 5 in his last race, and Journalism ran a 5 and a 4 in his last 2 races. So, according to Ragozin, there's not a gigantic difference. I see a little bit bigger difference than that, but this horse is not without a chance on numbers.
Yeah. And speaking of journalism, let's look at number 6 here. Certainly he's had a tremendous campaign. He's danced every dance. He's hit the trifecta in every start in his career. He's hit the exacta in every start except that first sprint race, which clearly was not enough ground for him. And he's won 6 out of 8, not counting the maiden race. So a model of consistency, as consistent as clockwork. Now, what has he done recently? How has he compared to say Nysos and Fierceness, who have been facing older? And well, I mean, he's beaten Gosker twice, not by a lot. And he's lost to Sovereignty twice, but also not by a lot. And Sovereignty is, easily the best 3-year-old in the country. And most people think he will give the older horses all he can handle when he finally gets a chance to face them. So journalism fits right here. One thing I really like about journalism, Steve, is he's coming from off the pace. A lot of these horses we've talked about, and especially Fierceness, I think need to be on that pace, and journalism does not. He can actually run tactically and sit right off the pace if he can, but there's no need for him today. He can get a nice, relaxing trip. I think journalism is going to be very forwardly placed by the end of this race, and obviously a top contender for the win.
Yeah, I actually like where he's drawn here, Jay. If you're going to just take back and make a run at Del Mar, it's really better to be out toward the middle part of the track or even outside, and that's where this horse is. I really want to see what this guy can run like on a fast track. I didn't have that Monmouth track as fast the whole day on the notes that I take, and I do take notes for right now for 3 tracks, and Monmouth is one of them. So I really want to see what this guy can do on a fast track. And I think he gets his chance to really shine today. Really liking the chances of this horse. I'm going to go to the next horse and lure him in. And this is a horse that I don't like in the race. And again, if I could take out a couple horses, this would be one of them. This is an 8-year-old. He came back and ran a gigantic race at Del Mar last time. That was only a 4-horse field, but he really ran a big number in that race for him. Whether you're looking at Brisnet or whether you're looking at rag numbers, that was a big number for him. Now he's trying to go 1.25 miles. And I think coming off of that big race, being an 8-year-old, that's a really tough thing to do. I like the post draw. I love this rider. But to me, I don't see lure him in firing in this race today. I think he's a contender to be at the back of the field.
Yeah, totally agree. Very light class wise. Couldn't win a $50,000 claimer. Couldn't win a $32,000 optional. Actually, did win that one, the $32,000 optional claimer at Tampa. I shouldn't slam him that much. But yeah, the speed figures are among the lower ones in the field. And when you've got 100 wrist figure in your last figure, it's like, well, that's not bad at all. But compared to this field, I mean, that's pretty lightweight. Finished behind Ultimate Gamble and. You know, I guess with Hector Barrios on him, I mean, that's a big upgrade over Maldonado, considering the terrible meet Maldonado's had and the excellent meet Barrios has had. Hector and his agent must see something on that because who did they just get off? They got off, don't tell me, Steve. I was just looking at that. They just got off Indispensable for Paco. So I've got to think Laura Min. Maybe we're talking key in the super high 5. Hard to see much more than that, but Yeah, kind of lightweight, certainly not a contender for the win. And then finally, the horse that I had mentioned earlier, Tarantino, keyed that big trifecta, $57 horse in the San Diego, well behind Nysos. And, there wasn't that much other than Nysos to beat that race. Miramati has always been kind of a disappointment for Baffert, considering what they expected of him. While Tarantino, has had some back class races that fit here, he finished well behind Skippy Longstocking and Midnight Madness in the Santa Anita Gold Cup, formerly the Hollywood Gold Cup. Actually, I think it's still the Hollywood Gold Cup at Santa Anita, if we want to be proper about it. But I think as nicely as Tarantino has run in the last couple of races, a 98 and a 97 Briss, look like he's back at the top of his game. I just don't think the top of his game measures with the top of the game that some of these others have. Yeah, not on my ticket.
Extra distance isn't going to help him. I like the fact that he's in here though, because I just think this race is not going to have a theft. You're not going to steal this race with this horse in it, especially with Maldo outside post. They're going to go and they're going to pressure whoever else wants to go. And maybe that'll be Fierceness. And again, that might be the key to this race. If Fierceness doesn't get clear, then I don't think he's going to have as good a day as some might think in here. But this horse is a complete pass for me. Tarantino, no go for me.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go 1, 2, 3? You want me to start? I'll give you my 1, 2, 3 in this race, or you want to go first?
Steve, why don't you go for it?
All right, guys, I got to tell you here, I am the ultimate chalk man here because I just couldn't find a horse. I'm going to try to beat Fierceness in here. He does scare me. He does come back and run. It seems like every other race. I'm going to take the local horse, Midnight Mammoth, for Craig DeLassey, and I'm going to put him third. I don't know how he can win this race, but I think he's going to run well today or on Saturday. I'm going to put Nysos in second. Still not sure whether he can make a mile and a quarter. And Jay, I'm really excited to see what journalism can do on a fast track, which he's going to get today. And again, I know in the racing form, that track at Monmouth was fast, but I think he gets a perfect trip today. And I'm hoping that this sets up for major excitement with those 2 3-year-olds running against each other, because I'd like to see journalism run here and then take a break and come back in the Breeders' Cup Classic. But that's my pick for the race. I'm going to go with journalism.
Okay, Steve, I'm glad you did because I didn't want to duplicate you and you didn't pick mine. I think Fierceness and Midnight Mammoth are going to really duke it out on the front end. And I think Fierceness has to go. But if you look at the last 3 calls at the half mile post, Fierceness was 47, 46-4, a 48-1 for the last 3. Look at Midnight Mammoth, 46-1, 46-3, 47-3, a little faster. And But Fierceness has to go. I think Midnight Mammoth, frankly, to have a chance, also has to go, and I think they're going to be duking it out. I don't think either one of them is going to be around at the finish. My third pick is number 5, Indispensable, with that man, Paco Lopez, one of the big riding stars back east coming out here. This is a 4-year-old that, as you say, Steve, they're still on the improve. They thought a lot of this guy, $625,000 purchase. John Sadler, of course, made a lot of history here with Flightline. I think Indispensable flies under the radar as my third pick. My second pick is Journalism. I think Journalism has, displayed obvious quality, obvious consistency. He's always right there. Can't imagine him not being in the mix, but I think he's going to be a little bit behind my pick, and that's number 4, Nysos, with Flavian Prado aboard. Only He's a neck away from a perfect career, Steve, and everybody's always had the highest hopes for this guy. I think this is his year. I think I'm really looking forward to him duking it out with Sovereignty and Sierra Leone. To me, those are the 3 best horses in the country. And I think Nysos takes a major step forward. I think he's going to just love a mile and a quarter. So Nysos on top for me, Steve.
Yeah, it's going to be a great race. I don't have, you and I have both have always had an affair with this horse, and I got to tell you, Jay, I feel like that late pick 3 has become one of my favorite bets to make. This is the first leg in it. I believe it's an 11 race card. I don't mind using your top horse and my top horse in there. I feel really strong about that. If you could find another horse in there, but I do think that I think those 2 are really going to take some beating. And if Fierceness was drawn outside, I'd have more animosity. At 3-1, he's got to have everything go his way early. If he doesn't, I'm not going to be as afraid of him. And I don't know which one is going to show up anyway. So I just feel like it's really pointing toward those two. And anytime I can go with two horses in that pick three right now, I've been doing it. I've had a little success with that bet this meet. I think it's a very, very good bet. And for those of you that have been playing a lot, you know that that pick three is one heck of a bet. So I think those two in there are very, very strong. All right, Jay, where are we at?
Well, I guess it's almost time for our picks, but maybe there's a sponsor you want to mention?
Yeah, I do. I do. I had it written down here. What did I have? What did I have? All right. Yeah, let me mention a little bit about our sponsor. Really want to thank Casino House Parties for sticking with us the entire meet. They've been great, folks. 1-888-3-GOT-POKER. If you want to give them a call and set up a party, these guys will come out to your house. Professional tables and dealers coming out to your house. And if you use the code SaddleUp50, they'll give you $50 off of your first booking. And again, that's casinohouseparties.com or 1-888-3-GOT-POKER if you want to have a little casino house party. This is Southern California, Palm Springs area, San Bernardino County, LA County, San Diego County, casino house parties. Give those guys a call or check out the website. I think you'll be very happy with the service that you get, and I think you can have a really fun party. All right, Jay, you want to take it away we got a couple races for the fans in here. You've had the hot hand of late. You want to take a look at, what is it, race 13 at Saratoga? You want to start there?
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. Let me just get down to that. And we are looking at, I was looking to see if there was a favorite that I like to really bet and try to beat, but there wasn't on this card. I am picking the favorite, but he's not a heavy favorite. He's a 3-1 favorite, and that's number 5, Debt Limit. Debt Limit in his last race, he hit the gate. That's about as big a detriment as you can possibly have. And nevertheless, Finnick going from 28 lengths back made this tremendous run down the stretch under Flavien Prat and nearly got there, only finishing 3 lengths off after finishing 28 lengths back. He's actually started slow the last couple of trips, the one before he won, and gets blinkers today, keep his mind on business. Flavien Prat, of course, is a little busy today on Saturday with riding Nysos, but Dylan Davis has picked up all the Chad Brown mounts, and they are poised for a bunch of winners today. Dylan is only having a 9% meet. He's much better than that, and I think you're going to see him pick up on Saturday, taking advantage of the big Chad Brown riders, Flavien Prat and Arad Ortiz not being available. I think Debt Limit is going to get off much more cleanly. I don't know if he's going to be anywhere near pressing the pace, but he's not going to be 12, 17, 28 lengths back. And I'm looking for him to just ramble down that lane and get there. In terms of horses behind him, we talked about horses rambling down the stretch. Well, right behind Debt Limit in that same race was Ramblin' Wreck. Ramblin' Wreck from Danny Gargan, talented trainer back east. Kendrick Harmouche, 19% rider down there. So Ramblin' Wreck was not very far off. He's 3 points off the Brisk figure, 98 for Debt Limit, 95 for Ramblin' Wreck. So Ramblin' Wreck is in my trifecta. And then we also have, I'm looking at a couple of horses here because obviously these horses are coming from off the pace. So I'm looking for a couple of horses that'll be on the pace to work in my trifecta. And those horses are, give me a second here, I'm changing screens. All right. The horse that I think will survive, I think there are 3 horses that will duel for the early lead. And those are Laurel Valley, Holdout, and Rothschild. Those are the 3 that I think will be the pace setters in the race. So I do think Laurel Valley is the speed of that speed and will eventually survive that duel. I think turning for home, Laurel Valley is the most likely to horse have the lead. And at 6 to 1, it's a decent price, but I'd like to get an even better price. So I'm using one of the other speed horses in their Holdout, who's 20 to 1 on the morning line. I'm hoping for the best. Holdout also has very sharp early speed. Just ran a 45-3 half at Colonial Downs on the turf. So this one definitely has the speed to lead. And yeah, speed duel, you just never know, Steve. Maybe Holdout, out duels Laurel Valley and is the one that draws off and then waits for those to come back and beat him. So we'll play the trifecta. We're going to play it like this. We'll play it kind of an interesting way. We're going to play 50-cent trifecta 5 with the three I mentioned, 6, 9, 11 with all. We'll play a 5 with all with 6, 9, 11, and they'll play a little saver, 6, 11 with 5, 6, 9, 11 with 5, 6, 9, 11. I'm not going to use holdout on top of the saver. I think holdout is basically a trifecta play only. And then a nice win bet on debt limit. I think he looks quite good. The price will not justify a place bet. He's 3 to 1. We're probably looking at 2 to 1. We might be looking at 8 to 5. So debt limit and that trifecta is the play.
All right, Jay, you're going to take it to Del Mar as well?
Yeah, why not? We're gonna go to Del Mar and we're gonna look at we're also gonna look at the last race there. You gotta wait for my picks on Saturday, Steve. And we're gonna see if we can knock off Gold Phoenix. Gold Phoenix was a tremendous disappointment to me last time. I thought he would do much better and just kind of, you know, press the pace, was never a threat for the win at any time, and now faces a tougher field in this Grade 2 Del Mar handicap. I'll throw him my trifecta ticket because he tends to get a piece, but he tends to be more of a get a piece horse than a horse that actually contends for the win most of the time. If you look at his record, he is 8 times in the money, 8 times. I guess that's fairly balanced, but over the last 10 races, wins have been pretty seldom. 2 wins out of the last 10, doesn't impress me. The one that does impress me and is coming back from a layoff, number 7, Truly Quality. Jonathan Thomas, a very underrated trainer from back east, has done a lot of damage at Gulfstream Park, at Churchill Downs, at Keeneland. Jonathan Thomas is one of the elite turf trainers, and he goes under the radar on our course here. This one has done very well off layoffs. In fact, before the last one, where he just didn't run his race and finished up the track, last 3 races off a layoff, 3 wins, all with triple digit brisk figures, 105, 107, another 105. You get Umberto Rispoli, the second best turf rider in the colony, in my opinion, right behind Flavian Pratt. And often that means Umberto is the first because Flavian's not here full time anymore. Truly Quality is a steal at 6 to 1 and liking Truly Quality on top to win. And then because these picks came out so late, I don't have my actual thing written out, so I'm going to read it off my handwritten notes, just like the old days. So in the trifecta, we're going to use number 1. This is my price. This one will make us some money if we get a 6 to 1 and a 12 to 1, and that's number 1, Balnikov. Balnikov is coming out of a number of graded stakes races. Hasn't done that well here. Most of those races were back east. I always figure the company back east is a little bit tougher. If I see a grade 2 horse back there, I think it can handle grade 1 competition here and a grade 3 to grade 2 and so forth. I think they're just a notch better than ours on the average. So Balnikov is on my ticket. We're also going to use
Let me ask you a question about Balnikov, Jay. Who's riding?
Balnikov is Antonio Frizzou.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the enormous, enormous upgrade. I just want to tell you that. I put this horse in stable mail last time. And listen, I'm not talking everybody off of the other play, but if you go back and you watch the ride, this is why I think Kimura, everybody loves the way this guy looks. This is why Kimura comes down to Del Mar, gets good mounts, and rides at 10 to 12% every meet. Watch the ride on Balnikov last time. I call that a launch job Louis. It's when you get very excited and you're down the backside and you're in good position and you just can't hold it anymore. You just can't wait. And you just send up on the outside and you circle And that is not what this horse wants to do. For Sue has really, really been riding better this whole meet. And, you know, I'm just not a guy that's going to sit there and hold grudges. I like to watch these guys and adjust with them. So I want to comment on that horse right there as your second horse. I think he's going to run much better in this race at a price.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, so do I. So I'm also going to use number 4, Stay Hot, a horse that we've talked about in past races, tends to always be up there in the good ones. We'll also use number 5, Adelon. And Adelon loses for Zoo, but Hector Barrios is back and has been riding him most of his career. So it might have just been that Hector had another ride that day and was going to take him back anyway. We'll never know. We got to get John Sheriffs on the phone and ask him, what the heck did you decide? We're also going to use number 8. We're going to use Final Boss, who just beat out Gold Phoenix last time. Juan Hernandez is back. It's a must use from Sadler. And finally, we will use Gold Phoenix, but at 3-1. We're really hoping that outside post takes him out of it and he doesn't hit the board. So here's the trifecta, Steve. We'll play number 7, Truly Quality, on top of numbers 1, 4, 5, 8, 11, with all. And then we're going to play 2 savers. They're going to cost you $10 a piece. And that's 1, 4, 5, 8, 11 with 7, with 1, 4, 5, 8, 11, and 1, 4, 5, 8, 11 with 1, 4, 5, 11, 11, excuse me, with number 7, Truly Quality. And if the the price stays anywhere close to the 6-1, worth a place bet as well as the win bet. If he's bet down more to like 3-1, 7-2, just the win bet, but really liking Truly Quality off that layoff.
I think you'll get your price on this horse, Jay. I do. I think that they're gonna, you're coming off of a 3. I think that outside horse, a 3-time winner of that race. Again, I haven't looked super deep at the Pacific Classic card yet. I've been just trying to keep my head above water with the Friday card. I did find a race to go with on that card, but I haven't really dug deep into that race. But I just know your second horse there. I really, really liked his tape last time and thought a rider change might do him some good. And I've always liked your top horse. So I think you might have something there, and certainly something for the fans to keep an eye on. That's the last race. We talked about the Pacific Classic, and I think I like our top 2 choices. I really do. I feel like that's a 2-ball. And I want to talk about this 9th race. It's the Green Flash. It's absolutely one of my favorite races every year. And there's a horse coming back in here that's been extremely dominant here in Southern California, and he's absolutely loves this racetrack. It's Notorious. He's 7 years old now. I thought he could possibly be beaten last time out at 6.5 furlongs. Not the case. And although he didn't run one of his best numbers his last time that he was on this course, Jay, he ran second in the Breeders' Cup, and he could have won that race. I mean, he was right there. He got beat at neck. It was an absolute grab bag at the end. And he gets the services of Frisou. So I really respect him. I'm going to use him in a 3-horse box, but I really like my top 2 horses in here. And one is a horse that ran really well in this race last year, and that is a horse named No Nay Hudson. What I like about No Nay Hudson is the way the race shapes up pace-wise. The rail hasn't been at 0 for a while. I did see the inside part of that turf course today when the rail was out, and you could really see that it's coming along really nicely as we've had that rail out, preparing for this day for them to put it back at 0. So I think the inside is going to be a great spot to be for No Nay Hudson. The horse to his inside, Beyond Brilliance, really, really speedy. So this horse is going to go right over to the inside and hopefully gets a little bit of a pace battle, because I do think there's some pace horses. 12-1, really appealing to me. I know you like the trainer Wesley Ward, because that's who's training this horse. And again, if he runs the same race he ran last time with a little better timing and a little better post than he had last year, because he had to go wider, I think he can steal and cut the corner and go inside this time. And that's a big reason for the play. So No Nay Hudson at 12-1. I want to mention one other horse, and it's the 11 Queen Maxima. I still think she has a heck of a shot to win the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. She was running absolutely phenomenally well and winning races without even moving a hair when she went to Churchill Downs. And I tried to beat her at Churchill Downs because the turf course was soft and it was raining. And I thought maybe she'll like a firmer turf. And I thought there were a couple 20-1 shots in that race. But she ran unbelievable in that race. In fact, she ran so good that when the boys ran the next day, all those horses coming out of that race, those were all the best turf horses, all the best boys. She was 5 lengths faster, Jay, 5 lengths faster in hand than the boys were. So she is not a line out here. And I am the last one who's going to ever say this. I don't care at all if it's a boy or a girl in a turf sprint. That's an older horse. I don't like 2-year-olds running against 3-year-olds, which we've seen in some of these races over in Europe. That's a different story. But I don't mind betting a female horse that's very fast. She got a really tough trip last time, and she really showed me that she doesn't want to go long. I like all three of these horses. If you want to just simply play a 3-horse exacta box, see what the price is on Queen Maxima. I could bet her and No Nay Hudson to win. No Nay Hudson's 12-1 is the price and the value, but I could play a 3-horse exacta box in here if I'm getting anywhere near around $18. Remember, you're going to have to bet 6 to get 18 back. So you're only getting 2-1 if it comes 10, 11. Make sure that that's paying at least 18, because I think that would actually be fair, and you'd get your money back for the race. So for me, it's a very simple play in here. A win bet on the 2, a possible win bet on the 11 at 4-1 or better, and a 3-horse exacta box, the 2 No Nay Hudson, the 10 Motorius, and the 11 Queen Maxima. Let's make sure that we hit that pick 3. That's a very small ticket if you use 2 in the Pacific Classic, 3 in this race, and at least your top 2, Jay, in the last race. If you could use 3, I know you've already talked about that last race already, but we know what your top horse is. What do you have? Another 2 horses you like, or do you think we can just go with those 2 for a little team pick 3 on Pacific Classic Day?
Yeah, sure, Steve. I mean, it's certainly worth a gamble because that gamble pays so well. So yeah, obviously I'm going to use the top 2 horses. I'm going to use Top Quality because I think that's the one that best can win the race. And I'll also use Balnikov because I think you doped that out perfectly. I think Kimura to Antonio Frizou is a huge rider upgrade, and I don't think Antonio is going to move so fast and run out of horse in the stretch. So if I had to pick a third one out of because obviously I gave out 5 in the trifecta. But if I had to pick a third one, I would go with, give me a second here. I'm gonna look them over one last time. Uh, my third one for the pick 3 would be number 8 Final Boss with Hernandez aboard. I just think
Going to
this
be
one
the
is a
speed, going to be on the lead. He's good. That horse is going to be on the lead. That's for sure. I did glance at that race a little bit, and I haven't looked at it a ton, but I do think he's the speed of the race. And last race they ran at a mile and 3/8 at this meet. Barrios went wire to wire on a John Saddle horse, so it certainly can be done.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are the ones, and we'll see what we can do. And yeah, I think it's going to be that's always a heck of a bet. And yeah, obviously, when you have that kind of a pool, the nice thing about the $3 is it does wedge a lot of smaller players out or forces them to limit their tickets. So if you can put a decent amount in on your ticket, you can be among a smaller percentage of winners, and you can get paid.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you an example, Jay. The ticket that we just talked about: 2 horses in the Pacific Classic, 3 horses in the last turf race, 3 horses in this turf race. Is 3 times 3 is 9, times 2 is 18, and then it's a $3 bet. So it's $54 with a 3x2 is a $54 wager. Some people are just not comfortable with that. And what you need to do, if you are comfortable with that, is take advantage of those kind of bets. If you're comfortable playing that ticket, then you should do it. If you're not comfortable playing any ticket anytime you're gambling, I don't know if you've noticed this, Jay. I know you do other kinds of gambling, and I've been a lifelong gambler myself. Anytime you feel uncomfortable, it's usually a losing situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I try not to play unless I've got a good faith belief that I've got a good chance of winning. And otherwise, I mean there are certain times when okay, 30 to 1 shot, it's worth putting a couple of bucks because I just think that one, showed a flash from way back. And if I lose, I've lost a couple of bucks. But if I'm going to put in serious money into something like the late pick 3, I need to have a good faith belief that all 3 legs are solid and playable.
Well, again, on a 30 to 1, what you need to do is you need to be okay with doing what I had done with these couple selections from last week. And maybe that's the one lesson that the folks can learn. If you're going to play price horses, Jay, you're going to have days where you don't run as well. And I'm really serious when I'm talking about this. I'm pretty solid in the way I'm going to play horses. And if it's going to have to change because the game is changing, then I need to revisit the way I'm playing. But I am going to have spells where I'm not going to run as well, and I want you to continue to play that way. But you got to play with comfort. You got to play with, man, If I think this 30-1 shot can win 1 out of 8, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20 even, I'm going to make a long run profit. Don't be afraid if those horses just don't fire on that particular day. And I'm not saying this ticket's not going to fire. I think this ticket's going to fire huge because I think our horses are going to do very well in all of those races. I would be very surprised if we don't hit 2 out of 3 of those. And I think we got a heck of a shot to hit 3 out of 3. And I think the fans can make a little bit of profit. But really, don't be afraid when you're playing price horses if you rip a few tickets up, because it's going to happen. And sometimes it happens for a little bit longer spell than others. So again, thank you to the gentleman that posted something on our site, and thanks to the gentleman that actually got my email and sent it to me. And by the way, how'd you get that email? But anyway, thank you very much for that, because I appreciate it. It sounds like fans are rooting for me. But Jay, I just want people to understand, we're doing the best we can, and we're going to do well this weekend, but it doesn't always work out perfectly. And when it doesn't, you can't instantly lose that confidence. And you certainly can't worry about with a price horse when you know that you've run 10th. I didn't know that horse had run 10th. I knew that the horse stopped running, but I sure didn't look back at the chart. And then the next day when I saw the comment, it was really something. It really struck me. I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, price horses are sometimes going to do that, especially when you're trying to find price horses that are speed horses that are going to get the lead. And that's all I have to say about that.
Absolutely. And speaking of this weekend, Steve, what do you have going at our partner site, www.racingjason.com, where the full cards and best bets are available? What you're going to be offering our listeners and viewers?
And try to look at Kentucky Downs as well. I did look there today and I didn't see much, and it actually came pretty chalky. It always surprises me when chalk wins there, but they seem to go through spells. And you know what, folks, don't be afraid to play speed horses at Kentucky Downs. They did fabulous there early in the meet last year, including in the long route races, did fabulously. So that's something I'm keeping my eye out for. I'll have a couple selections from you for Kentucky Downs on Saturday. I'm going to certainly look at all the big races, and I'll review that race a little bit more at Saratoga. I hadn't gotten my Saratoga sheets yet, and I really hadn't dug into that race, so I didn't comment on that race a ton. I'll go back and review that, and if I see something at Saratoga, I will certainly add there. But we'll have the full card up for tomorrow, and we'll certainly have the full card up ready to go and expecting a big Pacific Classic day.
Very good, Steve. As for myself, I haven't been doing really much on Thursday or Fridays, but now that I'm kind of caught up a little bit, I'll look at the Friday card. No plans putting up Friday, but I didn't see that Thursday pick five until about 9, 10 o'clock last night and immediately put it up. Friday, who knows, but Saturday will be both cards as usual, my Del Mar and my Saratoga card. Sunday will be my usual Del Mar card. I'm looking at doing a four race best bet card for Saratoga because it's a big day, Jockey Club Gold Cup. So I'm trying to put together a few races there. And then Monday is Labor Day, so I am looking at doing something for Del Mar there. I'm looking at hopefully putting up a full card Monday, and again, maybe some best bet for Saratoga, but I've got to see if there's a value there. Those only go up if I think there's a value to be made, like that Thursday one.
Yeah, that Monday card should be another good card, and we're going to have good cards now, I think, for the rest of the meet, Jay. And I'm really looking forward to these next 4 days of racing. Again, with Kentucky Downs in the mix, you're going to see some of the best turf racing. You'll see, I think, the best turf racing all summer. I think a lot of these guys now are starting to save. And for those of you who haven't really looked at Kentucky Downs, you're going to be shocked. You're going to see $1 million purses right and left, 500,000. $250,000 maiden races. It's crazy the amount of money that they run for. I don't know if there's a $250,000 maiden. I might have just thrown that out there, but
Yeah.
there's some big purses at that Kentucky Downs.
No question. Those are fueled by, as people have heard, but maybe they haven't seen them, these historic horse race machines where they take old races and they put a little thing where they're like going around the horse like with a carousel or something. I was just in Vegas last weekend, and the historic horse machine at the Vegas casino I was at was just packed. Every seat was taken. And then you go down to the race and sports book with the actual races, and you've got, football games, preseason games, local college games on all the big screens, and the horse racing other than Saratoga, and then later Del Mar in the day, but everything else was on a tiny little 32-inch screen. And, a lot of these places have stopped carrying horse races.
Mm,
So, unfortunately, the places like Kentucky Downs that have these historic machines have a huge edge, and therefore they're getting, better horse population. So when I say, when these horses come over here, they generally have an edge, it's because these races, these tracks like Kentucky Downs and others that have these racinos, they're basically attracting better horses because they're offering more money. And then, after they've been conditioned against these better horses and they come over here, they just find it a little bit easier. So, really something I hope we can sometime fix. I mean, we might have to, at some point, make some kind of a deal with the tribes because I think there's money for them too if they were to get involved in some kind of partnership with the tracks and expand, their offerings. So, hopefully someday we'll get it, but we could really use a boost and a little shot in the pants.
mm. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get if we're gonna have any good information on those machines. It doesn't look good for Southern California with those machines from almost everything that I've heard. I've got two final little notes. I want congratulations to go out to two of my very best friends. Uh, One might be a little bit premature, but I really want to wish the best to Rock and Robin Racing and Stiglitz. A very good friend of mine, and Rock and Robin also has a horse running on Monday. So good luck, my good friend Robin Hoffus. I know he's going back to Kentucky and then he'll be back at the track on Monday. And right now I'm scheduled to go there. If I can get my leg to be a little bit better, I just might be there. And then I also want to congratulate my good friend Dennis DeCower. He's been on the show with us, not on this show, but he was on the Racing Jason show. He won the tournament today at Kentucky Downs and won himself about $5 grand. But not only that, I think Jay, he qualified for the, get this, 21st time in the NHC. So congratulations to my good friend Dennis DeCower. We'll have him on again here pretty soon. And I want to wish his wife, Diane, who's just an absolute sweetheart, want to wish her all the best in recovering. So she's had a little back surgery, and I know that she is having a little bit of a time there, but I think she's going in the right direction. So go get him, Rock and Robin. Congratulations, Dennis, and best wishes to my good friend Diane. And that's about all I got to say. Jay, anything else you want to wrap it up with?
Yeah, congratulations, Dennis. And yeah, he was a great guest a couple of times on the old show. And yeah, we'd love to get him here on the podcast too. And next week is closing weekend. I'll be hosting that one. And then we will take a couple of weeks off. We will take a break from the Los Alamitos meet. And we'll be back for the Santa Anita opening meet, the Breeders' Cup Prep Day with the Goodwood. And that will be a tremendous card, as it always is. So looking forward to that. But one more week here at Del Mar and Saratoga, and we're going to try to knock it out of the park for you.
All right, everybody have a great, great day and a great weekend out there. Enjoy yourselves, be patient, lock yourself in, and go make some money.
Yeah.